I made a little Facebook post a while back, and with a photo of my face attached, it read, "Our wants smile circling around the idea of not knowing what we want." And as I said that to the unexpected, it was also around the time I just dropped out of school. And to pursue a career in music, especially in a country like ours, there aren't any guides, let alone guidelines. But the idea, but the feeling behind making that move, jumping into the water, it's cosmic in its nature. And a lot of my artist friends would agree, it doesn't feel like it. You really have to, you have to step back and look at it all from a distance. And only when you're in narrative mode can you feel the magnitude of each decision a character had to make in order to stay in his character. I hope that wasn't too intense, but when I was first approached to do this TED Talk, I was in a conflict of thoughts. I wanted to speak about, as much as I wanted to speak about the recent decisions I'd made, I wanted to speak about, badly needed to speak about the things that had led me to that point. I mean, I was only 17 when I dropped out. I'm 20 now. But the thoughts and these ideas bouncing in my head for the 17 years that pretty much created that beautiful progression is what really life is all about, you know. So the 10-year-old me enjoyed composing. I mean, it makes sense. My music was always around in the house. Ma being an Indian classical singer and my father playing the tabla, it made all the more sense. But maybe not. You see, I enjoyed the process more than I enjoyed the music, and I still do. As special as the final product is, it's the nature of how it took birth is what's really interesting. I have a lot of people come up to me and ask me, "Hey Ritviz, how do you go about creating this certain element? It's really attractive. I don't know how you went about creating it." And I have the same honest reply every time: I don't know. I mean, I'm lucky. I'm lucky for it to have chosen me as a home, but that's pretty much all I got for you. People like to state the technical efforts they take to present their idea. Definitely not something to be proud of. You see, when an idea hits you, it comes with its own package, its requirements. And more than anything, idea comes with a purpose. And it's our job to make sure that it meets all those requirements. So it shines, in order for it to shine the way it did in your head, look so beautiful in your head, you needed that momentum. You needed to go out and say, I want to spread this out to the people so they can hear what I heard. When I first started producing music, I was only messing around because a friend introduced me to this software, which I use till today, in fact. And I was lost. At the time, I felt the need to find a school where I could learn in order to create. I couldn't have been more ignorant. But as gullible as my thoughts were then, I pretty much corrected myself when a tune hit my head. The following 2 weeks, I spent on the software trying to figure my way out with the shared help of YouTube. I was able to put together a 3 minute, I was able to put together a piece. And when I did, I was really excited, this being my very first single and everything. I put it out on SoundCloud for people to listen to. This being my very first single, people who they'd like to point out all the little details, look for the word professional. But that's okay, I guess. That's the kind of response you should receive at the very beginning too. But I guess it worked out pretty fine. I mean, it was a blessing of sorts, because I mean the song later found itself on international markets. It got signed to a label even. And what I'm trying to say is, lack of experience has nothing to do with how much you care about your idea and how much time and energy you're willing to spend for it to, as I said before, for it to shine the way it did in your head. And why shouldn't you? I mean, it's not just an idea. It is who you are. It's your identity. For 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, for people a whole lifetime you spend following, and you've finally been given the opportunity to lead and create. but here is where I pretty much change it out a little bit. Do we create though? I mean, the idea I feel comes as a final, as a ready product. It hits us. Someone climbs into our head and they put it in there, and our job is to present it. We're not creators. We're recreators. We're not artists. We're instruments. When we hear a song or witness a piece of art, we appreciate it. We begin to appreciate it because we like the feeling that it brings us. We don't care about the creator. We don't care about the person who brought it to us. I mean, at that point, we don't think at all. We feel. And just how a paintbrush is swept across the canvas, so are we, with a little more credit bestowed upon us. And we're all part of the same flow. I mean, we have to respect the flow, and I know it starts at some point, but I guess we're falling into the unknown here. But we're not creators. We're recreators. We have all the ideas in front of us, and we're lucky enough to present it to you. You and I, we're on the same page. You as the consumer, and me as I'm presenting you this idea. And so today, I guess I'll play a little bit of what I had initially, the first song that I put out, and hope you guys like it. And just a little bit I want to play for you.